Hey, it's Tom from Tom's Toons, and no, this is not my shop, but I am working on a lower unit here. Thought this would be kind of cool to show you. This is something I do for a local marina. I come in and I weld up lower units like this one that has been, we'll call it schmuckled. That one got hit hard, or they hit something hard, more than likely. I'm gonna show you just a quick process of what I do to repair something like this, or what your marina might do to repair something like this. It's not all loss. You don't need to replace the whole lower unit. But this case, we're gonna get this taken care of, put a new Skeg. This is technically called the Skeg. This guy, right? It's all backwards. Right here is the Skeg. And I'm gonna show you what I do and show you what it looks like when I'm done. So obviously a shark bit this one right there. But when we look at this, you know, it's twisted kind of both directions. They hit something up here, but that can be sanded and filled in with Bondo if they choose to. I just do the welding. I don't do the painting and finish work here. I'll sand it, but that's about it. So what I'm gonna do is take a replacement cast Skeg. This is all aluminum that we're working with, and I will fit this up the best I can. We'll cut both the replacement Skeg and the Skeg of the motor to make a nice fine fit up out of the bent part up here and go from there. The other thing is keeping things cool down here, so I'll typically have wet rags so I'm not pumping in too much heat to the lower unit. It's got lube in it. That's a big thing. You want to make sure that you keep lube in here if you're ever welding on one of these. I am going to be TIG welding it. They've got a really nice machine on hand here that I get to use, so Synchro Wave from Miller. I'm not going to say that it necessarily lays better welds. I know some people are going to lose their mind on this than my YesWelder TIG machine. They're both fully capable of laying in really nice welds if you take the time to clean things and set them up properly, and if you know what you're doing with a welder. Best way I can describe this machine is that it's just really smooth. The startup is really smooth. The low amperage finish and start are both really smooth. I do like welding with it, but I don't have $4,500 to spend on a machine like this, so I'll stick with the machines that work for me. I'm gonna time lapse this whole repair, but I'm gonna talk you through what I do real quick so you know what you're watching. First, I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna decide the best place to cut it so that I get the twist out and I give myself something to weld. So it's usually gonna be at a little angle here. Then I'm gonna match up my replacement Skeg with this. I have to cut the replacement Skeg to line up with the front, back, and top best I can. Then we'll get it clamped on, tacked in. I gotta obviously sand back the paint on this. I bevel in heavily because this stuff's thick. This is almost a 1/2 inch thick. I'm gonna bevel this, I'm gonna bevel the lower unit, and I'm gonna weld it together. Here we go. There is a look at the weld. Welding cast is real funny because I didn't dip my tungsten once, but this bugger was splattering everywhere. This is a Evinrude E-Tech. So it's a little newer motor. You can see we're still smoking. I just keep these towels real wet. That keeps everything inside nice and cool. And you can see where the imperfections pop out of the cast, but I get a real hot, melt that bevel in, and then I pour, this is 1/8 inch filler, and I pour that in to take up the space. Pretty happy with how that turned out. It's about a bajillion hours of waiting for a split second of welding. I'm gonna sand this down, get it ready for them to paint, and get back to the shop. And all finished up, ready for paint. You're gonna get some little imperfections with that casting bubbling out. It's funny because when you're sanding this, there's sparks. That's how impure this aluminum is. So they'll Bondo it if they want to, fill it in, paint it, make it look pretty. My job here is done. And just to touch again on this welder, you know what I use if you watch my channel. The the YesWelder products, MIG and TIG setups. They work great for me at my shop. I have no complaints. If you're a Miller or a Lincoln or a Everlast, one of the big brand fans, great. These weld awesome. And we're not gonna deny that. But some of that inverter technology on the less expensive machines is really catching up fast. If this is a super cost prohibitive thing, you don't want to spend $4,500 to get into welding, especially aluminum, look at those YesWelders. We've got a coupon code that will save you 10% at YesWelder.com. Thanks for watching. Hope this has been a fun one. See something different.